Greetings, friend, and welcome to the first week of January 2021. Isn't that amazing? We're on the first week of January, the first full week of January 2021. And I have a few questions for you today. Happy New Year, and I have a few questions for you today. And my first question for you today, have you ever tried, or if you're not, can you imagine how is it giving medications to a feisty cat who does not want to be medicated? Have you ever had this experience? Try to give a medication to feisty cat that doesn't want to be medicated. Second questions for you. How do you think if it would go with this cat and you if you have to do that? Second question. Have the second questions for today. Have you ever heard about transdermal medication? Transdermal medication. And then the third questions is, have you ever heard the word detox? Do you know the meaning of the word detox or detoxification? And then for last questions, what would you really love to bring into your life this year in 2021 that you really would really love and would be able to want to do everything for to bring into your life in this 2021? So what's the first three questions got to do with the last one? You're like, what? What am I? I don't have a cat. What am I doing this? Listening to this. So hear me out. So if you ever try to give medication to a feisty, squirmy, full of claws and teeth cat who does not want to be medicated, you know how it went. It went usually a little bit challenging and a little bit scary and can be a little bit hazardous, like somebody might get hurt, like you get scratched and bite or something. So many of you know that I am, my background is I'm a veterinarian oncologist. Well, being an oncologist, many of my patients, cats, naturally need to be on medications. And most of them don't care about being on medications, regardless of that it is for their own good. And so we find a way such that we can give medications to this cat, particularly something like a daily medication to these cats, without anybody getting hurt. And that's what transdermal medication for. Transdermal medications, usually it's a little bit of gel or paste, and you simply apply it on the area with no hair or no fur in cat. In cat, the easiest area to apply this is the inside of the ear. If you look at a cat, a friendly cat, look at their ears, and then there is furry area, and then there is always an area with absolutely no fur or hair in there. And you can just apply. We make this medication. It's usually a tiny drop of gel, and the parents, the owner, just rub it in there and apply it. And that's usually it would goes a whole lot easier. The cat thinks you just touch their ear or clean their ear or something, and cats usually goes a lot peaceful and practically everybody says, oh God, this is a life-saving thing. Yes, I can do this instead of fighting with the cat and, and somebody get hurt trying to give medication. So that is transdermal medications. You apply a tiny amount of medications to an area of the skin and the skin will simply absorb this medication, and then the skin and then distribute it through the body. The medications usually in certain type of carriers so it can be absorbed. Now, over the years with my work as a doctor, many people told me, including many people told me that, well, this thing worked at the beginning, but then it stopped working. It's usually work for a short time, but then it stopped working. And I wonder, I was like, why is that? Why would it stop working? And a lot of people think the cat developed tolerance to it. And I said, this does not make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And I talked to the pharmacists. I know some pharmacists very well. They're like, no, it shouldn't. But a lot of people say it does stop working. You know why it stopped working? Because a lot of time people forget. You put this tiny gel that is, once it got on the cat ear, it become practically invisible. And people just keep applying and applying and applying and applying and applying. Guess what? Sooner than later, they are applying medication on top of medication instead of medications on the skin, such that the medications touch the skin and they can be absorbed. Imagine you now, you are going to get a little bit of a cream, and you put it on your hand, and then you don't wash your hand, and then you put another cream on that. You said, I want to smoothen my hand. You put a cream, and you put a cream day after day after day after day. Keep putting on cream. Guess what happened? You just have build-ups in there. You have build-ups, and very soon you apply your hand cream on top of a hand cream instead of your hand. If anything, the build-ups start become crusty and usually disgusting and gross if you don't wash it. Imagine if you don't wash your hand for a week. What would happen? It's kind of pretty gross, wouldn't it? So this is the same thing with the cat. Most people, most parents, most owners are directed to how to apply the medications. They are not directed specifically, and it's not their fault. They're not being given direction. They're not directed specifically on how to clean the ear, the side, in between medicating. So with me, if you come to me with me as an oncologist, I say, here's there's more medication. In my directions, it's involved cleaning the site on very regular basis. It's actually alternate ear and all these things. But the point is, just like you want to wash your hand on regular basis so it's not build up of some kind of things and end up being gross, even if it is initially you put on some lovely, luscious cream, if you just applying it on top of it over and over again, it's not going to do any good, and eventually it start doing some damage. Well, that's what it is with hand cream. Now with the with us, when people detox, when people doing a detoxifications in the system, that's actually the similar thing. When you do detoxifications, what you do is a lot of time your doctor says, well, you've been eating all these things out there, physical detoxification. Your doctor says, well, you've been eating all these things out there, and then it built up in your gut, and it built up in your gut, and now your gut has so many things. Your intestine that's supposed to be absorbing nutritions, your intestine is layered by so many things after years, and so many of us decided to go to do a cleanse or a detoxifications where you change your diet or this and that, and a lot of time it's involved you fasting, which is quite unpleasant, isn't it? So involve you fasting or doing this and that, and so forth, and then you cleaned up. In the intention is you cleaned up your intestine, and then your intestine will now be refreshed. It's get rid of all the toxin and the buildup, and now your intestine will be able to absorb new thing, and then to be able to work better. Now, what does all this got to do with you bringing into your life what it is that you would really love in this year, in 2021? No, I'm not selling a detox program for you, for your intestine. And no, I'm not trying to help you go and find a cat and medicate them. What it does to do is, it's actually our mind work the same way. Our mind and our life and our heart work the same way. It's not just our physical body, it's not just on the cat ears or on your hand, it's everything's work the same way. Many times we go on about our life and do all kind of things, and we keep building in, and we are taking in, and we're taking in the little bit of anger, and we're taking in a little bit of grief, we're taking in a little bit of discouragements, we're taking in a little bit of cynical thoughts, and on and on and on. We're taking it into our heart, we're taking it into our mind, and very soon, just like your intestine or your hand, if you put cream and never wash it for weeks and months and years, or just like the cat's ear, very soon you'll have so much buildup in it that even when you put something else is good, that is good for you, like a life-saving medications for this cat, a wonderful luscious hand cream that's good for your hand, or good nutrition, you're not going to even be able to allow it in. You're not going to be able to absorb it and take it in, and never mind benefiting from it. And that's the same thing with our mind and our heart. So many times we take so many things into our life, our doubt, our anger, our resentment, our fear, and we build it up and build it up a little bit at a time, build it up a little bit at a time, and then we say, oh, we would love to have this thing in our life, we would love to learn this new thing, we would love to have this and that. And at the same time, if you have residues, if you have things building up in you, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to absorb the good new things, the good new technique, the good new lessons that is good for you. And then it's also, if you have so many things full in your life, it's almost like a cup that's already full. How are you going to welcome something new that you would really, really love in your life? Your cup will be simply spill over. You and I need to clean up from time to time, just like you brush your teeth on daily basis. And so for today being the start of the first full week of the new year of 2021, I invite you to keep in your mind what it is that you would love, but to also prepare the ground for it. To prepare the ground for it by detoxifying by detoxifying your heart and your mind. What it is in your heart that you can say, you know, this thing's no longer serving me, this, whatever it is. Perhaps an experience that's still haunting you. What it is in your mind that you notice from time to time, a doubt, a fear, or something that you say, you know, might not be serving me. What is it in your life? Perhaps it's your physical life, perhaps it's in your home, perhaps it's your routine. What is it that you have in your life that you can detox yourself from? Because until we clear things up and on regular basis, and definitely when the people come to me with the cats that say, I have tried this in the past and it stopped working, I said, okay, first thing to do, go and clean your cat ears, and gently, we're not scraping out the ear, gently clean that, do that step by step and this is very true with my clients, in oncology clients. I said, okay, go clean your cat ear, just gently, just step by step for the next week, just focus on cleaning both ears, and then when we see you next week, we'll talk about the next step. And almost reliably every time when they did that, and then I said, here, try this medication again and do it this way, guess what? It worked. It never stopped working. And so same thing with your life. Let's look in your life and see what it is that you can detox. For the rest of this week, I'll share a few common things that many times we sometimes forget to detox. But everybody's unique, and you might have a unique circumstance, and see what it is that you might be able to detox from your life today. As you're hearing this, what it is that some of the thing, whether it is outside of you in the physical, whether it's your routine and habit, whether it's in your heart, it's in your mind, I invite you to join me to just see what is a couple things here and there that that you might be able to let go from your life, getting rid of that residue that build up after a year like 2020, that for many of us it build up this and that residue in us. And please share that in the comment below, that if you like to, please feel welcome to share your feedback in the comment below. Feel welcome to share this video and with anyone that you'd love to. And this is Bridget with From Grieving to Joyful Living. I see you having a nice clean slate that you'll be able to absorb what it is and to welcome and to receive what it is that you would really, really love for 2021 and make it a super awesome, great day, night, week, and year. And I'll look forward to see you again very, very soon.